So, weiter geht's mit Genshin und neue Aufnahme, neues Glück und ja, ich habe nichts zu tun, die Quests sind alle durch, außer die Hangouts. Dementsprechend mache ich mal so ein bisschen weiter und rede mit den Leuten. Eine Stunde oder so. Oder mal gucken. Zumindest Mero City soll ich durchbekommen. Sprich hier unten und dann oben noch die Ebenen. Vielleicht noch dann die beiden Palace-Dinger hier. Weil das hier kein Palace ist, aber egal. Die anderen Dörfer hatte ich hier außenrum. Ne, Karawan Ribat noch nicht. About Ormos hätte ich wahrscheinlich einzeln machen. Vielleicht nehme ich noch das Dorf hier mit. Also Karawan Ribat. Aber ansonsten, ja, passt erstmal so. Gut. Wo fange ich denn hier an? Fangen wir mal hier rechts an. Jo, hi. Schwirm. More wine and meat free you from worries. Of course you can't drink too much or you'll make a fool of yourself. And you are? I own a stall here, selling drinks, snacks and stuff like that. My food is reasonably priced. A popular choice of student meals, welcome parties and team building alike. I even got Mahamata among my clients too. One bought a whole case of wine. Sounds like a heavy drinker. I actually have no idea what he does, but folks say he is a Mahamata. He was tall and looked like a guy who could hold his drink, but I couldn't tell if he bought the wine for himself or for someone else. I remember him murmuring something like, one case should be enough for an apology, as he carried the wine. So maybe he wanted to get someone drunk so that they'll forget his mistakes. Okay. Make a fool of myself? That's right. No, don't tell anyone, but this happened a few days ago. Two groups of researchers were drinking in a tavern, and they ended up fighting. You know, those researchers are usually reserved and polite, even eating roast meat with small bites. But they can also really go at it, huh? I think it was a fight over who was the best candidate for the Grand Conservator position. They started arguing, then fists flew. Soon the Matra came and took them all away. Looks like no matter how well read you are, you see succumb to a few glasses of alcohol. Eh? Ja. Daher. Is doing business really all that great? Perhaps. I don't get what the point of saying this useless gaudy stuff is. Maybe that's because I'm a bumpkin from the desert. Besides, the city folks doing business don't look happy to me either. 9 out of 10 people who come out of the exchange look miserable, and the 10th will be bawling their eyes out. I also hear that there are students who think they can make it big by learning a few things. They come to try their luck, but end up forking over a year's worth of living expenses. Don't be like them. Gut. And it's ja gut. Hello, looking to buy some spices? Yes. No problem, let me know your decisions, blah. Aha, Biryani. Boah. Tachin. Ach, Palisare kann man kaufen. Oh, scheiße, sind die teuer. And you are? I'm a spice merchant. I mainly provide locals with spices for their daily needs, but I also sell some spiced up side dishes. Some researchers even come personally to gather the spices. I even got a source for rare palisaras through a friend. And aramides, come to me if you need some. I see someone's pretty well and connected. You flatter me. It's just as I often send gifts to my guests. When I first started out, so they were willing to tell others about my store to help my business. Und da ist mein Controller offenbar jetzt leer. Gut, dass ich das Kabel direkt parat habe. Seltenerweise. Ich muss es mal nicht suchen. Es lag schön aufgerollt, aufgerollt in Anführungsstrichen, neben mir. Oh ja, to help my business. Business is all about treating people with sincerity, you know. Ist das your first time here? Here, take these. I hope they can bring a different flavor to your table. Hat mein Handy gerade aufgeleuchtet? Nö. Ach ja. Investigate. Erstmal klauen. Hier geht's wieder raus. Gut. Afshin. Traveling Merchant. Naja, Traveling. Wenn er hier ist, aber naja. I've got some fine goods and intriguing stories for my guests, if you're interested. Let's see it. It is hard to tell the true value of goods by just looking at them, so this is all I can show you. Boring. Let's hear it. The flower stands proudly on the top of the hills in Liro, fluttering the chilly wind up high, as every bit as pale as the hair of the goddess who touched it. Extraordinary as it sells for only 8,000 mora. 80,000 mora. A jar of wine outlasts in the years that was graced by the animal gods humming. Drink it and you can chant melodious poems. Stupendous as it sells for only 2,000. Nee, 200,000. Oh Gott, was ist denn heute los? Mora. Sounds to me, yet slightly different. Sounds like you don't believe me. Why don't you take this and contemplate? No matter, it is but a souvenir from my extensive collection. Nako. Das kommt aber aus Inazuma. Aber okay. Hushang, toy seller. If only I could break into the Liro market. Duel, no. What are you planning? It's about the toy trade. I hear the toys from Naya sell very well in Liro, and now I'm feeling some regret. If I could have seized the opportunity to bring my handmade toys to Liro, they'd definitely be more popular now than anything from Naya. What could a frigid place like that know about a child's heart? Oh Gott, Hilfe, ich habe irgendwas im Hals. Ist nicht Childs Familie irgendwie in einem Spielwarengeschäft? Nee, ich glaube, er hat seinem Bruder gesagt, er wäre einer, aber okay. Oh Gott. Saha. Aha. Hi there, are you a traveler or here to shop at the Grand Bazaar? I suggest you go to Yut's shop. Why is that? It's a mirror spice I must buy, and Yut's is the best spice store you can find around. Not only is the quality high, but the prices are very reasonable. He even sells the rare Palisara. He also gives customers small gifts on occasion, so you definitely don't want to miss his store when you come to the Grand Bazaar. Mhm. Ihr wollt nicht reden, das ist super. Naja, hätte ja sein können, dass es versteht. Asra, wo geht's hier? Geht's wieder raus? When will I be able to see Nilu perform again? Nilu. About Nilu. Let me tell you, so Bear Theater's Nilu is the best dancer ever. Many may be able to dance beautifully, but Nilu is unique in the way she infuses emotions into her dance. It took me a long time to snap out of such a feeling after watching the performance. It's so... that feeling? Just like water. I mean, pure water can be shaped into different forms, boiled or frozen. If I weren't assigned to as a guard here, I would like to watch her perform every day. Ich habe schon ganz andere Videos gesehen. Ja. Also ganz andere Videos, wo sie tanzt. Außer die es in-game gibt. Das kann jetzt jeder interpretieren, wie er möchte. Doop-di-doop-di-doo. Ja. Ein Schelm, wer Böses denkt. Yusuf. Great work I've done today. You have a lot of confidence in yourself. This isn't pride talking, it's a fact. At such a young age I'm already so capable, I can support myself. Oh Gott. Das ist so ein Kind, was ich nicht mag. I work for Miss Spielecke. I do the daily registration every day and get my pay at the end of the day. Und irgendwie habe ich gerade Wasserbrille. So. Ist es nicht schon irgendwie Kinderarbeit eigentlich? If I keep doing this, I get paid for life and I can eat Uncle Lambert's fish rolls every day. It's very far-sighted. Of course, you may not know this, but Miss Spielecke is a real genius. She was invited to study at academia. She rejected those blockheaded adults, so she said, and I quote, "Learning is no fun compared to making money." Miss Spielecke also told me that the biggest secret to building wealth is to stay away from the Kalimi exchange. A genius boss with a caring heart should have enough to last before life. Naja. Wait. Das ist ein kleines Kind. Uff. So, gib mir ein Belohnungszeug, ja. Ah, the fish rolls good. I could eat them every day. You tell me if they are good or not. Try them yourself if you don't believe me. Lambert's original fish roll will knock your socks off. Hey, so trägt keine. Ah, wahrscheinlich schon. Trägt auch keine. Kann man nicht sehen. So like her, blanket shown up. There's nothing wrong with loving money as long as you don't hurt anyone in the process of acquiring it. This much I understand. So, my customers don't need to worry about a thing when shopping here. You are... I'm not just one of the best Wally blanket sellers, I am the best blanket seller, period. Not only do I sell blankets, I am surely as I live, also the top in sales for toys, jewelry and kitchenwares. Oh, but perhaps not books. Not books? Books are just a non-starter. With Akasha shut down, the Academia is sure to revise the way they manage books. Not like I ever liked those things anyway, so nope, those waters are not for me. I'll just stick to the basics. Besides making mirrors easy, even without my talent, you should still be able to make as much as the Humayanis. If the Academia could have made an argument to get me to enroll that was half as convincing as my sales pitches back then, I wouldn't have turned them down on the spot. Oh mein Gott, I'm so sorry. Oh Gott. Gefundenes Fressen für Sino. Even after doing the calculations twice, I'm still coming up a little short. Something on your mind? Yes, I'm a logistics buyer for the Academia. I mainly purchase things like spices and blankets. I said I'm a buyer, but the reality is that most of my time working is spent on calculating prices and applying for budgets. The Academia wants to purchase these things too? That's right, after all, researchers, students and our staff also need to sleep and eat. The Academia may have a handle on knowledge, but they still depend on the people for production and need to purchase daily supplies from the private sector on a regular basis. In return, the Academia will also provide free healthcare to all and helps foot the bill for any festivals and celebrations that may need to be held. Joa, okay. Könnte dieser Kackköter mal weggehen? Geh weg. Danke. Was? Baba.
I wonder, could the treasures I discovered in my youth have been left by the Dendro Archon?
I wonder if my friends from when I was young from when I was young are doing alright now. You are? I'm just an old timer with too much free time on his hands nowadays. I once crossed the rainforest and the desert when I was young. I adventured all over Teyvat, saw plenty of things and made many friends. I didn't have much more then, but what I did have were vigor and courage. Then I happened to dig up something precious on one of my adventures. Some people said it was one of the treasures of the spirits, and some said it must be a relic of the Dendro Archon. I was just a kid then, we didn't know any better, so I sold it to the highest bidder. Thanks to that income, I'm able to clothe and feed myself even in my old age. Your friends from when you were young? I was an energetic and tireless adventurer in my youth. I may have gotten myself into my fair share of trouble, but that's also how I made friends. I remember that lad Roald would lose things all over the place. I once lent him shoes, notebooks, and a mountaineering pickaxe, before I lost them all that is. There was that chatterbox, Cyrus? Was that his name? He had a booming voice, liked to go on and on and on, but would never listen to what anyone else had to say. I hear he's the branch master of the Monster Adventurers Guild now, and that he's got a beautiful daughter. Suppose that means he's grown up a fair bit now. That's good. Okay. Ja, du tanzt sehr schön. Farhad, Porter. Though work is as boring as ever, and so bare yet has now no new showings, there seems to be no shortage of prospects as of late. Say friend, are you going to watch the Interdartian Championship? I hear Miss Needle's going to be commentating. I wasn't much of a student growing up, felt like I had an allergy to learning. However, after listening to how Miss Needle breaks things down, the knowledge seems a lot easier for me to grasp. If you missed Miss Needle's commentary, it's your loss. What public performance? It's a new play that Mr. Zubir is working on. Unsurprisingly, Miss Needle will definitely be featured in it. Plays at Zubir's theater never disappoint. Every time a new production is out, researchers all rush over and grab tickets, no matter what research they have. You should definitely check them out. Cheek, Zubir, manager of the Zubir theater. Ah, it's you. Welcome, welcome. How have things been going for you recently? Well, quite the same as always. I'm the resident playwright and manager, and so I'm managing. We are a rather small troop, so pretty much everyone other than Korosh wears several hats. I also do some composing, choreography, choreography, stage design, and action direction on the side. However, we have had a new joiners recently, which has given me some time to focus on something. And of course, one can't complain about the added bustle. About Crush. He's a man of mediocre talent. His movements on stage are stiff and his singing is less in tune than Swoop's. His only strength is his determination. To this day, he still hasn't given up on being an actor. I'm a person with high standards, but I don't give up on persistent students as long as he can still accept criticism. I'll continue to instruct him. After all, I can't expect everyone to be as gifted as Nilo. As that reminds me, I still have more to discuss with him regarding the lines of the new script. Wie auch immer es ist. War der Quest relevant? Wahrscheinlich. Oh, Nilo and Inaya doing. Nilo is teaching her to dance as we speak, however. Yeah. However, I must say that it hasn't been easy. Dance is something that is best learned from young, I feel. Still, Inaya works so hard. Beyond the task that Nilo sets her, she trains independently as well. I dare say that with her current progress, she may be good enough to take the stage in but a few years. I daren't imagine, however, how many times longer the period would have been without the tutelage of someone as gifted and patient as Nilo. Najia, props engineer. Hello, it isn't showtime right now and it's messy around here. Please mind your head and feet. What are you doing? I was halfway through working on my props when I realized that the stage needs maintenance again, and that we need to finish those safety checks before the next performance, lest we put our actors at risk. How's work? Mr. Joubier is very strict about every aspect of a performance, so I always worry that I'm not good enough. Are the props attractive enough? Is every detail the best it can be? Do the mechanisms operate smoothly? I think hard about these things daily. Sometimes it's enough for me to get the urge to join Xariva. Some Xariva regulars are on good terms with me as well. What's in it gives it up. It's not as if I was building a real place or anything. Rest assured. If only I would be as open-minded as you are. Maybe it all comes down to the fact that I'm so attached to this theater and that I have certain demands on myself. Anyway, thank you for comforting me. Here are some leftover rocks from what we made props with. They're quality rocks. Please take them. Nice. Beim Rocks, das ist einfach mal Erz, aber okay. Cross Juggler, ach, der Typ. The manager scolded me again today. Are you alright? Not really, but I'm used to it. It's practice. Lessons from Mr. Sheik Zubier, then more practice. Rinse and repeat. I thought about giving up, but then I remembered how, despite all his criticisms, Mr. Zubier never told me to quit. That means there's still hope for me, right? But have I made any progress? Ah ja, nicht wirklich. Oh. Das ist Woof. Kumari. I would like to become a dancer as good as Nilo when I grow up. About dancing. Why won't Dad let me learn to dance? He said dancing was looked down upon in Zamiro. To live a better life, I should go to school instead of learning how to dance. But Nilo is so good at dancing and everybody loves her so much. Is success at school more desirable than being a good dancer? Prinzipiell ja. About Nilo. I love Nilo. She's so gorgeous and her voice is so melodious. And the dance is stunning. Every time I see Nilo, she would smile and let me touch the jewelry on her head. The Sub-Zero's festival is my favorite holiday. I can get candies on the Night of Flowers and I can watch Nilo's dance that day. Can't wait either. Then be sure not to miss it. Hope you'll have a chance to enjoy Nilo's dance and try the best sweets. Gibt's ihm einfach Zucker. Wow. Okay. So, damit wäre der untere Bericht durch 20 Minuten. Damn. Also knapp 20. Hier war ich. Bis da war ich, glaube ich. Die Treasure Street. Sogar Nacht geworden mittlerweile. Ja, nachts wird wahrscheinlich weniger auf den Straßen los sein. Machen wir mal wieder Tag. Stimmt, jetzt habe ich gar nicht unten geguckt, ob da bei Tag andere Leute rumrammeln. Moment, nochmal gucken. Das war halt so eine natürliche Progression jetzt eigentlich gerade da unten. Irgendwer, mit dem ich noch nicht geredet habe, der jetzt hier ist. Nee, die könnten ja sogar relativ fest sein. Ja, Hier gibt es anscheinend keinen Unterschied zwischen Tag und Nacht. Gut. Gefällt mir. Astra, ja, nee. Das ist gut. Dann brauche ich da unten nicht. Nochmal gucken irgendwie. Ich glaube, der andere wäre doch kürzer gewesen. Egal. So, jeder, der nicht reden will, ist gut. Nice. Oh, Häfen zum KWs Haus. Kann man natürlich nicht rein. Ha! Nice. Ich meine, gut, es war klar, dass da irgendwie noch eine Kiste irgendwo versteckt sein muss hinter irgendeiner Treppe, aber dass sie echt nur eine große ist, hätte ich nicht gedacht. Hier ist nichts. Hätte funktionieren können. So. Stimmt, die sind alle irgendwie so ein bisschen verbunden. Oh, das gefällt mir. Hier will kein einziger reden. Oh mein Gott. Bitte mehr davon. Bitte mehr. NPCs, die nicht reden wollen. Ah, so, dann sind die Treppen abgeschlossen, glaube ich. Java, Nani und Khaldun. Should you deny that the championship rates Darshans based on their scores? Please recall that we all entered our respective Darshans via our test scores. To overlook the scores is to overlook the very basis for all assessments made by the Darshans. In turn, you should remember before you overemphasize the scores that they are only representative of how each contestant performs for specific tasks exclusive to the competition. Moreover, we also need to consider other probabilistic factors such as weather, geography, moral, and so on. Oh, and we didn't need to consider this when we were testing into our Darshans. A sophisticated comparison. My test scores can represent my capabilities, but it does not showcase the totality of what the Darshan represents. A foolish opinion as usual, no offense intended. Disagree, so you make scores determine the rankings and results speak for everything. Ja, okay. Syriap, student. Fresh breeze in the night, or fresh night breeze. How about just night breeze? What are you doing? I'm pulling my hair out on how to win her heart. Fresh breeze in the night has too much emphasis on time. I think about her day and night. On the other hand, fresh night breeze sounds rather cliché, like a line in a child's fairy tale. But just night breeze would save more room for more serenade. But people in the square discussing the candidates for the next Grand Conservator are messing up my thoughts. If only I could have a quieter place to think. How about indoors? Tried it, didn't work. You got either couples flirting or someone pushing flyers on core, card games, cross-country, and other events on you in the study. I could have just stayed in the dorm room, but my dumb roommate tried to make hot pot with a prototype burner. I won't go into details, that the room is still full of smoke. I don't trust myself to write anything. Hannah will appreciate it in that condition. Gut, gib mir den nächsten Teil, den du noch hast. The next Grand Conservator. Yes, the current Grand Conservator announced a few days ago that he was going to retire. And the next Grand Conservator needs to be voted in by the sages. Practically everyone is talking about this. Didn't you hear them chattering about it? Something about Vikram of the Vaumana being good. Wo habe ich den Namen Vikram vor kurzem gelesen? Ah, Murder Mystery. Der Maharaja, der hieß Vikram. With people and Rifa'it of the Havatat be incredibly intellectual. Stuff like that. I think there's even fan clubs of some sorts that have been set up by some students. From what I see, there's no too little schoolwork. Hannah's better. She doesn't care about these mundane things. Oh ja, die Besten sind die, die nicht reden wollen. Du willst aber reden, oder? Jasmine? Natürlich will Jasmine reden. It's alright. There's nothing wrong with the divine tree's roots. Ach, die ist das. But what's that potion? Are you talking about that potion we sprinkled around the last time? Ladeb and Farbe are still trying to make adjustments. The effect was good indeed, but the physiological emetic that Ladeb added really made other people quite uncomfortable. And I don't know why, but this potion also attracts fungi. I hope Ladeb can come up with an improved formula soon. Are the two of them okay? Regarding their academic achievements, they are very happy now. They've collected empirical data, and their research turned out to be fruitful. But in terms of their everyday lives, they weren't even eating anymore, and their sleep patterns were terribly skewed. In their own words, this is the price of doing research. Sit. Sit down, please. Ah, der Akademietyp fährt auf die Mercenary-Tante hier ab. Ah, okay. Interessant. I can barely keep my eyes open. When will he stop? What's going on? Oh, because of somebody I don't get enough sleep. He's forcing me to spend too much time with him every night. It would be fine if we just go to the bar, but he just makes me to listen to gibberish by the side of the road. If I liked hearing other people read, I'd go to a lecture. Would it be that he's insinuating I should read more? Didn't know what it is, this Teddy is to date a bookworm. Okay, sie weiß schon, dass sie daten. Gut. Welcome to the Academia. Academia? Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich betone es eh mal anders. About the Academia. The Academia consists of 6 Darshans, each with a permanent seat in the Academia. For more information on Amurta, press 1. For more information on Artavahis, press 2. For more information on Spantamet, press 3. To speak to a human service officer, press 0. Oh, scheiße. Amurta. Amurta is the oldest school in the Academia and focuses on biology. It was originally formed by the researchers who followed the Dendro Archon to cultivate the rainforest, and it's still the largest school today. It is represented by the color green and includes disciplines such as biology, ecology, and medicine. Anyway, if it's not farming, it's stock breeding. Ertavahist. Ertavahist specializes in illuminationism, and the stars are the center of their research. They believe that the sky reflects truth and writes destiny. The recognized color is blue, and it includes disciplines such as astronomy and astrology. Anyway, if it's not watching the sky, it's calculating. Spantamet. Spantamet specializes in elementalism and is a school of thought that focuses on the study of elemental reactions and changes. Due to the need of examining ley lines, Spantamet has much more traveling scholars called Rioche. The recognized color is red, and it includes disciplines such as alchemy, elemental science, and ley line studies. Anyway, if it's not conducting research, conducting reaction experiments, it's traveling in the field. More. Oh, here, Haravatat. Haravatat specializes in semiotics. They see language and writing as the core of essence of the world. The recognized color is black, and it includes disciplines such as linguistics and rune studies. Anyway, if it's not deciphering ancient texts, it's creating new words. Bahumana. Bahumana focuses on ideology and seeks to investigate the source of make-up of knowledge and its nature. Started with the rejection and reflection of the remaining series of King Dashwood, then became the basis for various social sciences. The recognized color is yellow, and it includes disciplines such as history and sociology. Anyway, it's not memorizing facts, it's refuting rumors. Shariva. Shariva specializes in technology and was originally started to study and manufacture propulsion mechanisms. Its scope is quite comprehensive due to the various aspects of knowledge required in the making of mechanisms. The recognized color is white, and it includes disciplines such as architecture and mechanical skills. Anyway, if it's not building houses, it's solving puzzles. 0, are you a puppet? It might be better to be a puppet. I just need to follow the program and won't get angry, even if someone interrupts my speech. But I'm more or less like that already. After a few years of being a receptionist at the Academia, I've memorized admissions brochure so thoroughly that I can recite it ad verbatim. As long as people come seeking to be educated and Academia still exists, I'll never be done with work. Phew, I haven't had a normal conversation in a long time, thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for your love and support for Alchemia. Goodbye. Die ist creepy, die Tante. Du willst... Ah, statt hier Researcher. A pity that knowledge so great is constrained by matters of moral. And when there are wealthy sponsors, the wealth is not fed into valuable research, but rather burned on frivolous competitions. You mean the sponsor? I haven't heard much about them, but I should be a good person. Even merchants would think of nothing but profit should not be judged with prejudice, so long as they are willing to place emphasis on the development and preservation of knowledge. Because when it comes down to it, almost anything is better than someone who wastes money. Budget? Yeah, the budgets. Sadly, even great things like knowledge can be thwarted by money. The Academia has been spending more and more budgets on classified research over the last years. Instead of maintaining a financial black hole, they should fund more practical disciplines like archaeology. With a lack of self-reflection on history, we will get a short end in real life sooner or later. Next time I apply for funding, I must get Vikram to join me. About Vikram? Vikram is my friend. He must be your friend too. You know how it is. As long as he's there helping with the negotiations, you can always get more funding than you expected. I have only heard the name. What? You don't know about him? Well, he has been busy recently with this thing about the next Grand Conservator. I don't know what other people think, but other than Lisa, who according to legend has become Monster's Grand Conservator, Vikram should be the most suitable candidate. After all, if the person in charge of the collection is as reasonable as the one managing the funds, the study will be dead in the water. Wie viele Optionen hat er jetzt gehabt? Budget und dann nochmal eine andere. Lord Vikram. Oh Gott, wie viel hatten der? That's my first time hearing this name. What? There are people in the Mayo City who haven't heard of Vikram? Also der wird doch bestimmt nochmal irgendwann spielbar, oder? Klingt so nach einem Geo-Nutzer irgendwie. Well, maybe I'm the one who's taking it for granted, since I haven't met anyone who didn't know of him. He's been in the limelight recently and is a strong candidate for the next Grand Conservator. I don't know what other people think, but okay, ja gut, der Text ist gleich. So, sollte eventuell mal... Achso, stimmt. Ah, die sind jetzt über Nacht hier. Sie mit ihrer Schwester irgendwie. Okay, gut, dann nehme ich die jetzt mal einfach. Are you sure you found the correct semantic field for these ancient runes? Of course, I'm not sure. I'm only speculating. Besides, I discovered that there are overlapping marks on the ancient runes on the stone wall. So I have reason to suspect that they may have been carved by people over several generations. Whereas it complicates things, in our history researchers, the meanings of runes like these can differ significantly from era to era. And my father finished his desert expedition again. We should ask him what he thinks when he gets back. Or ask Rifait, maybe he has some lads. Gut. Vorspulen. Zack. So. Genau, jetzt stehen sie nämlich nicht hier. Aber hier ist auch nichts Neues dazugekommen. Ja, komm, ich kümmere mich gleich. Ich gehe erstmal jetzt außen rum. Kommt doch hier einmal rum, oder? Okay, hier geht es direkt hoch. Marquis. I didn't expect Tanari rarely shows himself in the city to participate in the Interdarshan Championship. Hört auf, über aktuelle Events zu reden. I don't know much about Tanari. He doesn't strike me as someone who is fame hungry. Perhaps too many people were recommending him and he didn't want to disappoint them. Speaking of which, I think he's planning to hold a new lecture next month. I must note down the time of his lecture before I forget. I can't miss it. What happened? Sorry you had to hear me complain. I was just lamenting that researchers have to deal with so many things on top of their own research, such as official academia, assignments, delegated tasks from mentors, getting along with peers, and sometimes even inquiry from the Matra. If only these things could just resolve themselves like a tree shedding its leaves. Now I understand more or less why Tanari left academia. Okay. Kushi. I guess my neck is going to snap before I even solve this. Are you alright? My neck, it hurts. This is probably the ordeal all astrologers must go through. The weight of the starry sky seems to crash down the neck when you stargaze. Whereas yet the hydromantic instruments in the academy fell into disrepair due to budget constraint. Researchers like us who aren't part of big project must be resort to more primitive measures. If only the new Grand Conservator knew the value of astrology. Take care. Thanks for your concern. The only consolation is that now that Academia has started to work on a much more important project, so they have lowered their expectations on our research productivity. I'll also have more time to take better care of myself now. Leg pain may be difficult to cure, but a healthy diet is said to be able to improve one's vision. Well, there are worse things to suffer through for a good cause. Alright, neck hearts, blah blah. The new Grand Conservator? Yes, a youngster like you should be better informed than me. Everyone in Summer City is paying close attention to the matter, be it an ordinary researcher like myself or Barber in the downtown area. If the new Grand Conservator is interested in astrology, he might apply for some funding and restart the use of those hydromantic instruments. I can also benefit from his influence and no longer have to stick out my old neck again. So that means I prefer to have Glyphate to be the next Grand Conservator. Okay. Euch ist es egal. Mit euch will ich nicht reden, ihr seid Event. Typen Romayon. Even if we find a calm place to think, we will inevitably be interrupted by noisy students. To be honest, I was never interested in these celebratory events or competitions when I was in the academia. Winning the championship doesn't really help add any credit to your research, and any renown gained from it only amounts to some short-lived attention. Realistically speaking, there are few people as practical as I am. What are you thinking about? Rainforest life is among the foremost concerns of the Amota. Although the taint caused by the weathering has been greatly alleviated, no one can say for sure that no new problems will arise. To this end, I've always wanted to scribe to sort through the latest rainforest reports from the researchers. The scribe is mainly responsible for documenting their findings. True, but I reckon he'd be able to discern any anomalies in those writings with his keen eyes. Yo. About Rifayet. Oh, he's a very knowledgeable researcher. He's not very articulate, but he's a mere with all kinds of literature. Have you heard of him? I've heard of him. Oh yeah, he's been absorbed in research and barely shows up around here. If it weren't for the fact that he's a candidate for the next Grand Conservator, even fewer young researchers would know about him. I prefer him though compared to that Vikram fellow. Rifayet is more like a researcher in my opinion. But I don't know what those sages think. After all, they're the ones who have the final say. Ach komm, warum haben die jetzt so viele Optionen hier oben auf einmal? Never heard of him. Well, he's been absorbed in research by the shows. Aber, Ja. Das gleiche Text. Super. Ja, kein Bock auf dich. Ich glaube, hier geht schon zu hoch jetzt fast. Andererseits. Oh Gott, passt schon. Ja, sieht ja ganz nett hier aus. Okay. Einmal hier oben gucken. Ist eigentlich... Boah, guck ich jetzt zuerst mal rein. Kann ich hier mit irgendwem drin reden? Und ich kann es zumindest entern. Nee, kann man nicht. Okay. Wäre auch so praktisch gewesen, wenn sie hier gewesen wäre. Oder Skara. Runterfallen will ich glaube ich auch nicht, oder? Nee, soll ich nicht. Zack. Jetzt da drinnen ist definitiv viel zu groß für das, was eigentlich hier ist. Just saying. Das muss eigentlich direkt ein Fahrstuhl noch ganz unten sein. Sonst ergibt das keinen Sinn. Aschk. It says that you can see pretty far if you stand high, but the higher you go, the harder it is to see what's right beneath you. Ah, sorry, I was talking to myself. If you're looking to join the Academia Extravaganza, then you probably got lost to wander this far. You're way past the boundaries of the festivities. Hello. Hello, hardly anyone comes around here. Are you here to stargaze? The untouchable sky conceals the truth about the world. At least, that's what we Atarahists believe. But the mortal sight is limited. Who can guarantee that they can see all the celestial signs clearly? How about you? What do you think? The stars determine your destiny. Oh, you're talking about the research into constellations? Unfortunately, I don't have a vision, so I couldn't participate in those research projects. But I feel that the stars don't decide your destiny so much as they show it. Because of such things can be decided, and they can also be changed, right? If destiny could be rewritten just like that, I doubt that the Dendro Archon would have had to expend so much energy quelling the ancient calamity back then. Jo, hello. Things might not be as they seem. You're right, people can be easily distracted or deceived. If I were a martyr, I might tell you that ignorance is also a blessing. But people's ignorance will not affect the existence of truth, sometimes blindness. Oh, I have said too much. Just ignore my words and let it go with the wind. Okay. Rasengarten. Von mir aus. Bugana. Oh. Der ist blind, der trägt eine Binde. Hello. And you are? I came, I saw, and I'll die here. This is the Rasengarten, where silence will ultimately reign. Okay. Ach so. Über den Weg komme ich dann einfach hier hin, quasi. Nee, das ist noch ein anderer Weg. Pagani. Star Curse Deviations. If I continue my studies down this path, I might just be able to see where there is a separation between my series and the calculations. The International Championship have done a lot of good this time. If Atavahist hadn't selected Miss Layla as a representative, I would have never consulted her research. I can only say that Miss Layla keeps too low a profile. Such incredible research needs to be seen by more people. What are you calculating? Before I answer your question, let me ask you one. What do you think Tarot is like? You don't have to respond, just think. I have a revolutionary idea. If Tarot was round, that would explain a lot of things. Why are there currents and oceans? Why will the sun and moon alternate rising? Why would there be changes in temperature? Or that could be explained with the round earth theory. das muss ich mir screenshotten. Oh Mann. So, what's the discrepancy? That there's the rub. My theory is perfect, but the calculation of land surface doesn't bear that out. Damn it. I shouldn't have ditched math class in school. It's all Vikram's fault. I blame him. That's because he asked me to skip class with him. Whenever there was a class he found boring, he would grab me and have coffee in the downtown area. But that guy did surprisingly well in all the foundation courses. I suspect that he dragged me out of class on purpose, while he studied by himself at night. Time passes so quickly. I didn't expect him to be a candidate for the next Grand Conservator now. I hope he gets elected so I can go around telling everyone that I skipped classes with the Grand Conservator back in the day. Wow. Okay. Oh, hier ist doch ein Weg runter gewesen. Hab ich gerade nicht gesehen. Aber gut. Es ist aber auch verwirrend hier aufgebaut. Ist schon wieder Nacht. Direkt wieder zum Morgen. Dupdi-dupdi-du. Gut. So. Da ist der weitere Weg runter. Ich hätte ja eher den Weg von da, die ich dann eher mit einem Schwung so hoch gemacht, aber okay. Von mir aus. Daria, Researcher. Isn't the continued growth of academia dependent on the education of future scholars? If we wait until there are no successors left, it will be too late already. We can't actually bring in research from the Nagarjuni. Oh god, from the Nagas, right? You mean academia recently cut back on the budget for education, and that rubbed me the wrong way. To better advance research and development, academia would recruit talented children at an early age. I'm a teacher for those children. Seeing them major into accomplished researchers gives me immense pride. But if academia keeps shaving the budget, it will impact their education. Even from the point of maintaining our prestige, I still don't think it's right. Did you come up with any solution? I will have to speak out if academia continues to cut funding. I've talked to Vikram. He also believes that's what has to be done to ensure the learning conditions for the children. Aha. Die Namen kommen jetzt sehr oft vor, gerade auf einmal. Das werden definitiv nur neue Charaktere werden, oder? The Nagarjuns Knights, blah. The Nagas were a branch of the academia from long ago. They were said to advocate strange ideals like the transmission of knowledge at all costs. And conflicts the natural order of Teyvat. In short, the school of thought has long broken away from the rest of the academia. They no longer are on the same branch. Also, they still seem to exist deep in the desert. Most people have either never heard of them or have but consider them a myth. I'm just being angry, so don't take it too seriously. I believe that sooner or later the academia will take the future for our children seriously. Mhm. Ah, Armin und Arina. Arm in, arm out. I want a break. Why can't academia give us some time off during the extravaganza? Don't you enjoy watching the competition? No, I do, but if you think about it, we can only watch competition if we have a break, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So, watching all my senior classmates represent their Darshan has inadvertently inspired a new drive in me to study. I've made up my mind. In the future, I'm going to enter the Inter-Darshan Championship too. It's a bit early to be thinking about this, isn't it? Didn't our instructors say that seeking knowledge should be a steady and serious endeavor? Maybe before considering partaking in a competition that happens once in a blue moon, maybe you should consider which Darshan you want to join first. Reden die jetzt gerade allgemein nur wegen dem Event darüber oder? Naja. Wahrscheinlich haben sie die Texte irgendwie gemischt. Jupp, und sie ist nachdenklich. Du bist auch nachdenklich, das ist gut, dann wollte ich mit nicht reden. Ihr auch. Sind doch bestimmt irgendwo Kisten drauf versteckt, oder? Naja. Gut. Ach ja. Damit wäre ich hier draußen auch fertig. Nice. Da hatte ich am meisten Angst, weil das so verwinkelt ist. So, Sinat. This subject is better discussed with colleagues in Shariva. About your subject. I can't divulge the specifics, but it's a viability study for outfitting constructs with a vision. I'm a Spentermed researcher specializing in the flow of elemental energy. I don't know enough about powering constructs, so I need help. That's how academic research works. It's not something one can just power through alone. You can be like Rifate, who can do research alone and produce lots of results on top of that. Sometimes it's necessary to work together. Die Namen kommen mir zu häufig vor. Wenn nicht einer von denen Geo ist, dann weiß ich auch nicht. Oh, hier ist eine Kiste.
I'm liking the look of this.
Diese geschlossenen Türen hier überall. Tja. Enter House of Dina. Katayun, librarian. Hello, are you here to borrow books? Do you have any access permit as a student or teacher? About the House of Dina. The House of Dina is the community's library. Researchers and students can borrow many books on general knowledge here. Some books are only open to higher level researchers for use in their literature reviews. In the past, most knowledge could simply be obtained through the Akasha. So many people only read books to personally ascertain the source of any knowledge they gained. KI quasi. Das Akasha Terminal war quasi ChatGPT. For a long time, the House of Dina was really more of a museum than a library. But ever since Akasha was shut down, the number of publications requesting access to it has increased greatly. I believe that the scribe... Oh, dieser scheiß Köter, halt doch die Fresse. I believe that the scribe is presently hard at work dealing with that matter. I reckon that more people will find the love of books rekindled soon. Bob myself. I'm a librarian who is in charge of lending and sorting books. My family has been in this line of work for generations. I've had a thing for the smell of newly printed books since I was a kid, so I'd say I've landed a dream job. But the work turned out to be more simple than I'd imagined. Many come here not to borrow books, but instead to look for a quiet place where they can contemplate issues. So I don't really have much work to do except for tidying up the bookshelves. Uff. Ja. Wann hast du ein hartes Leben? Ich hoffe, es sind nicht so viele Leute, die reden wollen. Die ist auch so, sorry, Shori. Oh, Matra. Hello, what do you need? Oh, so you don't exactly know what I do, huh? No worries, as a matter of fact, that's a good thing. The fewer people who come to talk to me about work, the better. It means our academic environment is a healthy one. Honestly, I expected a great deal of problems to follow the Khmer's celebration. I was even ready to head back to the office and prepare for overtime. But there really haven't been that many people seeking me out. Even the General Matra is on break. I'm just going to keep resting here. Are you Matra? Oh, so you don't exactly know what I do, huh? No worries, as a matter of fact, that's a good thing. The fewer people who come to talk to me about work, the better. That means I can make, life's surrounded by books. That does sound rather nice. I'd say that there's no simpler form of life than one where your only goal is to study. Even I sometimes want to borrow a book or two, then I look at the tidy shelves in the house of Dina. This is just a thought. I know myself, I'm far too impatient to read. Das war verwirrend. Okay. Sorry to bother you, I think I should go. Oh, you see. Oh, see you. Okay, komisch. Egal. Dann erstmal hier unten. Du willst nicht reden? Du willst nicht reden. Du willst nicht reden? Du willst nicht reden. Oder? Doch. Falgana, Village Keeper. Hallo sehr, did Citaria send you over? Ah, die. An die erinnere ich mich sogar noch. Citaria? Hä? My bad, I've only recently returned to Khmer from our village, so very few people speak to me. I subconsciously assumed that you are one of Citaria's friends. Aru village, you say? That's right, I was previously one of the village keepers. That's what the villagers told me anyway. Village keepers I researched who have been exiled to our village, but in truth I don't really remember what I did here. It's almost like I had a dream that I no longer remembered once I woke. And yet my mind is still quite clear. Later, a lady named Citaria helped me settle some procedures that would let me return to the Khmer. Honestly, it was a lot of procedures indeed, so I'm quite thankful for her help. She should be busy here with her work as an educator at the moment. I plan on helping her to look for some necessary materials such as books about basic infrastructure. Once I finish settling those things, I'll contact her again. Noch eine Option? Sorry about that, bla bla, okay. Wrong person. War da noch eine zweite Option? Nee. Nö. Hast du lange Gespräche? Da muss man ja aufpassen, wenn man liest. Gregor. Gregor Onk oder was? I'm thinking about taking a trip back to Mondstadt when I've got things covered here. So international student, okay. About Mondstadt. Ah, Mondstadt, my beautiful homeland, where even time seems to flow more slowly. I got admitted into the Khmer a few years ago, so I left Mondstadt and came here. This was the first time I'd been away from home. I was thrilled and nervous. I looked forward to seeing exotic landscapes, while also fearing that I might not be able to live on my own. Ach, war der nicht nachts in der Taverne? But after I really started my academic life here, my busy schedule was rid me of all the mixed feelings. I did many stupid things when I first arrived. I'm all ears. When I got my offer and saw the grand stage signature, I was so proud of myself. Thought I was the proof of his recognition. But later I found that everyone has received the same acceptance letter with his signature on it. What a fool I was to believe that the grand sage saw something special in me. But the mirror is indeed different from Mondstadt. People here are more serious but less romantic. For example, my Darshan, Harvatat, focuses on linguistics, but we seldom discuss literature. Instead, we spend a lot of time studying syntax and structure. But I hear that some people have been trying to organize a light novel society. Although they are not from the academia, it more or less shows that people of the mirror aren't all so stiff and rigid. Okay. Spielecke. Oh nein. Oh nein. Wie kannst du es nur wagen? Huh? I didn't think someone would want to chat with me even now. Aren't you joining in on the Chimera extravaganza? What fun events are there? Truth be told, I'm not one for such occasions, so I can't say. However, I don't dislike these celebratory events. The most students join in such galas. The quieter things are over here. Who are you? I came to borrow some books. I've been applying for additional permits to borrow more books. I read almost everything on general knowledge that I can borrow from here. Hope my mentor can give me access to other books soon. Do you have any recurrent reads? It depends on which Sasha and subject you are interested in. I can give you a list based on that. But only researchers and students at Emir can borrow books from the House of Dino, so you will need a permit. Who are you? Bla bla. Achso, das andere war nur die Tschüss an. Ah ja, gut, okay. Die Tschüss-Antwort. Der Typ, der hier saß, ist gedespawnt. Sanat student. All these books, do I have to read through every page? I thought the entrance exam to Acmea was the biggest challenge I could ever face. Turns out I was too optimistic about the books. My roommate recommended these books to me. I asked for some advice on research, and his answer was that we can't only rely on the Akasha. He says that to carry out in-depth research, it's best to track down the source of knowledge. Read carefully and also think proactively. I said, sure, let me try your method. He's the best among us after all. We've almost given up on trying to catch up with him, you know. But I really didn't expect him to read so many books every day. About studying. I'm not very talented and it took me great effort to get into the academia. My sister often encouraged me, saying that things would be much easier once I passed the exam. That's not true at all. My schedule has become ever crazier since I got admitted. I've been experiencing hair loss lately. I'm just in a constant state of anxiety. Can I get my assignments done? Will my thesis proposal get approved? Speaking of which, I wonder if I can borrow my sister's thesis from when she was studying here. We're from the same Darshan, you see. Oh. Okay. So einer. Du sitzt allein, dass du redest, oder? Nages. My colleagues must be working very hard to write project applications right now. Project applications? That's right, everyone knows that to ensure good funding, you have to get your application approved by the Academia first. With an approved project and more, you'll be able to hire more students. With students working for you and stable funding from the Academia, your bright future will very much be secured. Still, I don't think it's really worth it. Just think about the terrible competition you will face. All in all, it's too much trouble to get your application approved. I mean, have you heard about how Azar put all his eggs in that one basket of his? And not only did it turn out empty, but he also lost his position in the process. It's all a big joke, I tell you. Boah, bin ich langsam mal fertig? Ja. Jetzt habe ich gleich die Runde. Ja, gut. Okay, kletter halt nicht. Gut. Und einmal nach oben. Jo. Jo. Jetzt habe ich echt eine Stunde aufgenommen noch wieder für alles hier. Plus die 2 Stunden, die ich schon hatte. Sind mittlerweile 3 Stunden, glaube ich, die ich für Gespräche habe. Und das Ganze ist sogar eigentlich relativ unnötig, weil man braucht es ja nicht. Für irgendwas. Das ist einfach nur Flavortext. Mhm. Pana, Mahamata. Hello there, if you wish to submit an application, just give it to me. You are... Aha, look for me, do I? You might have seen me near the gate of Spielecke City giving out Akasha terminals. That's how most people know me anyway. So I'm afraid remembrance is not mutual. There have been some personal shuffles recently that have led to me being sent here to help our 2 standing sages and the scribe out with their work. I'm sure you know about the big shake-up that's been happening since Lesser Kuznali assumed control over the Chimera. I've been up to my neck in various applications from all manner of researchers. And of course I need to deal with people snooping around for information. To be honest, I haven't quite gotten used to the pace of my new job just yet. But I'll just have to do my best. Mhm. Joa. Schwebendes komisches Ding. Und leere Bücherei, quasi. Gut. Das wäre es damit zu Mero City gewesen. Vandaraville habe ich definitiv, Chimera Village auch. Da kommen, dann gehe ich jetzt nochmal schnell rüber zum Palace of Alcazar-Zari. Ne, Alcazar-Zari. Ich hab. Egal. Es sind viele A's. Naja, aber es sieht hier relativ klein aus. Relativ. Heißt aber, ich habe mich hier auch nie umgeguckt, oder? Ich habe diesen Ort komplett gemeidet. Kann das sein? Könnte sein. Wahrscheinlich will aber jeder hier reden, oder? Rajavi, Merchant. When will he be here? Did the butler lie to me? What are you waiting for? I hear the wealthy merchant lives here, so I've come to pay him a visit. Ah. Dori. I thought since we are both successful businessmen, we could earn more together. But no matter how I tried, the butler at the entrance refused to reveal the identity or whereabouts of his lord. Every time I go over there, he leads me around to Zugspur, somehow persuading me to come back here. Ah, next time. Next time I won't let him do it again. Mhm. Esan. Hello, are you a guest invited by the Lord? Do you need any help with your luggage? About the Lord. Oh, you're here to pay the Lord a visit? Then please inquire about it with the butler. I'm just hired by the butler to carry goods. To be honest, I haven't even met the Lord myself, so I really can't help. Sorry. Dealer, merchant. Oh, I was lost in thought. What a jump scare you are. Oh no, where was I? It wasn't intentional. Don't worry, I'm not blaming you. Please don't mind me. It's my own fault. My memory has been failing me lately. I either forget what I'm supposed to deliver, or forget what I'm supposed to sell. Luckily, the owner of this place has more important things to worry about than the insignificant work I'm in charge of. Well, enough of that. Let me continue with thinking. Where the heck did I put a long list like that?
Let me think.
Uh-huh.
Today's cleaning is already finished.
Kisten? Nein. Shagayae. Whatever. Hello, are you a visitor here too? Is this a popular tourist attraction? I'm so sorry to say that it isn't. This is just a private residence. People visit here from time to time because the place was designed by a famous architect. But it's still a private residence, so please forgive me for being able to give you an indoor tour. Oh, I almost forgot. Please don't spread the word about this location. While the Lord doesn't mind people taking a tour of the garden, this place was prized for the peace and quiet away from the hubbub of the world. So I hope you understand. Mhm. Okay. Dieser Kackhüter. Mandana. Following the instructions in the manual really did make the flowers bloom very well. The manual? Yes, it's an earthing manual on an ornamental plant the Lord gave me. I heard it was personally revised by a forest watcher. Following the instructions in the manual guarantees that beautiful flowers bloom all year round here. Lovely. Thanks, I take it as a compliment on the good job I did for the garden. Cutting a fresh flower with its leaves on, put it into a vase of water and you'll make a very nice interior decoration. These are for you. Beautiful flowers will bring you good luck. Bei Zara? Ne, ist Miro Rose, okay. Kann ich da nicht rein? Nein, kann er nicht rein. Und der Tutor ist aus dem Tane. Mhm. Ah, welcome. Please take a seat. I shall introduce you when the Lord returns. I don't see any empty seats. Yes, yes, sorry for the inconvenience. The Lord built such a big palace, yet with no place for guests to wait at the gate. I found it confusing as well. Please wait, I will make sure to report to her about this. Das ist echt Doris Haus hier? Okay. Yeah, introduce you the Lord. Ah, so you don't know who lives here? It's funny, if you don't know who owns this place, then who are you here to see? I can't be of help if you don't know who you are looking for. Now, if you'll excuse my lack of decorum. Mhm. Ja, okay. Von mir aus. Gaston, Reporter der Steambird. I must ask these questions once that Lord of theirs returns. What are you doing? Achso, Steambird, das war die Zeitung. Mhm. I traveled all the way here from Fontaine just to interview the owner of this place. I inquired about it everywhere, while people are constantly praising the architect who designed the place. No one knows who owns it. Isn't that an obvious scoop for me? I may be just a trainee reporter from the Steambird, but I can't let that stop me. If I want to write an Ankündigungen article, then I must be the first to eat a spectre. So no matter how hard it is, I'm going to meet the owner of this place. Persistence is the key. You're right. That's what my teacher has taught me. A journalist needs to have an adventurous spirit to make my news report the biggest blast. Mhm. Das gehört doch definitiv Dori, oder? Ich meine, die war doch mal irgendwie in irgendeiner Quest hier. Hello, would you like to let me show you the way? And you are? I'm a servant of this house at your service. Seeing as how you've been wandering aimlessly, please pardon me. Is the butler giving random directions again? If you had the privilege to speak to the butler, then please don't take him seriously. This place may seem grand and magnificent, but it's still quite remote and isolated compared to the city. The Lord prefers a life of tranquility and reclusiveness, so our household staff is limited in numbers. I suggest you pay attention to your surroundings when going well in the vicinity, especially when you are not within the range of this property. Thanks for the reminder. That's nothing, I was just speaking from experience. It is hard to meet someone as sensible and open to suggestions as you are. Mhm. Zack. Asani. So, this is my senior's masterpiece. Senior? Yes, the one who designed this masterpiece is my senior. But it is a pity that Mr. Kavi graduated before I was even admitted. So I didn't have the honor to speak with him in person, and I've never even attended a single architectural elective taught by him. Mr. Kavi is so great. I'm sure he has gained both fame and fortune. Naja, holding an important position somewhere in the world. Naja, nee, nicht wirklich. Wie wir jetzt ja wissen. Ah, hier ist noch so eine komische Blüte auf dem Wasser. Nidot Palalotus. Dann habe ich so wenig. Gut, dann habe ich den Palace hier auch fertig. Boah. Ich will gar nicht so lange aufhalten müssen. Aussparen müssen. So im Nachhinein geht es doch schneller eigentlich als gedacht. Aber die Items, die man bekommt, sind halt meist relativ sinnlos oder unnütz, wenn man seit Jahren spielt. Und die Flavortexte sind nett, aber ich hab leider schon beim letzten Pokémon-Spiel, was ich gespielt habe, das war kein offizielles, das war, wie hieß denn das Ding? Das mit diesen Uranium, genau. Da habe ich auch gemerkt, klar, die Flavortexte sind ganz nett geschrieben. Gerade wenn sie nicht nur so Classic-Pokémon-Texte sind. Aber irgendwie fehlte da an der Sache was. Also, nee, sie waren ja gut, aber es hat halt vom Hauptgame abgehalten, voranzukommen. Mache ich mir jetzt die Mühe, die kaputt zu machen? Ach komm. Zack. Na komm. So. Gut. Und da ist, glaube ich, auch noch einer, oder? Oder hatte ich den eingesammelt? Den hatte ich eingesammelt, oder? Ja. Gut. Dann Palestine. Palestine. Aber ich mache mal kurz einen kleinen Pause hier. Ich mache gleich weiter. Moment. So, gut. Palestine. Ich glaube, ich mal erstmal Tag. Moment. Alter, dieser beschissene Köter nebenan. Kann er nicht endlich mal die Fresse halten? Das geht jeden Tag so. Boah. Das sind so mehrere Rosen. Wobei, steht irgendjemand hier auf dem Weg hierher? Nö. Gut. Gut, gut. Dann. Ah, hier Palisara. Wer will alles reden? Ihr wollt alle reden. Warum wollt ihr alle reden? Aschab und Yale. Ask Mr. Hasen about my term paper and got just a glare from him again. Was it the same question you asked him about last time? Yeah, I have adjusted the lighting conditions, but I still can't get the desired outcome. When I asked him, he just said something like, "You ran too far, you should go back and check." But as I've confirmed over and over again, the original idea couldn't meet the requirement of the fruits, on the fruit's sweetness. I think you might have been misunderstood. Is it possible that there's something wrong with your projections? Are you saying it was all wrong from the start? Maybe. Emia. So many resumes are sent in every day, only for me to find none that can be used. What's the point? You mean, the Emia welcomes talent from all walks of life. After all, the talented are best known by the want of them. But some co-workers of mine are rash to recommend everyone. My desk is now inundated with piles of resumes. With all due respect, most of them are just garbage. The more imbeciles we take in, the more stupid things we'll have to deal with every day. It threatens our efficiency. I don't know what's on their mind. Not even one can be used? I'm not saying that there's not a single capable candidate, but it's so rare. As for students who graduate from the academia, they may not have working experience, but they have developed good research habits and attitude in years of study. We should give our own students more chance instead of recruiting untrustworthy outsiders with fake reputations. Okay. Passt Onis eigentlich ganz gut zusammen.
Please be careful not to touch
Sophia,
the
Eremite Mercenary. Hello, please do not touch the plants in the garden, especially the plants in the laboratory. Because they are rare? I guess it's part of the reason. I'm just a merc guarding this place, so I don't really know much about these plants. But tragic incidents where researchers lost months or even years of progress have occurred quite a few times in the past, and they were all because some plants were accidentally damaged. It sounds really sad, right? I would go mad if all the money I made over the years was lost overnight. So when I think of it like that, I pay extra attention to the safety of these plants. Okay, gewissenhafte Arbeiterin. Isard, Forest Ranger. An unusual floral fragrance permeates the air. I really would love to stay a little longer. Is there anything of note nearby? I heard from some students passing by that some ores appeared in a place nearby. They were others so absorbed in discussing a problem that they didn't watch where they were ongoing and tripped over some magical crystal ores. I could help clean them up if I had my tools with me. I can tell you the location if you want to check it out. Ores are pretty useful. You need them too, right? Okay. Cool. Random, aber cool. And you are? I'm a forest ranger of Avidia Forest. I'm in charge of the liaison between the forest rangers and Palestine. We send regular reports on the ecological situation in Avidia Forest to Palestine. Palestine provides us with all kinds of assistance. For example, we recently received quite a bit of seeds and nutrients that Palestine supplied for free. The forest rangers are in charge of selecting suitable planting areas or distributing the seeds to the nearby villagers, so that we can all add a little more green to the rainforest. Okay. Ihr seid also Ökos. Gut. Asm, researcher. It's so difficult for students to buckle down nowadays. Hello, General Knobi. Hi, you got any questions? Go ahead. You're not a student here to ask questions. That's great. That's great. Can't students ask some questions? Of course they can, but it matters what kind of questions they are asking. The students nowadays, they are asking questions before even reading through their textbooks. Is it so hard to know the basics first? These little bastards keep bothering me. Wow. Okay. Even my good temper failed me. But ever since I started to do my old classmate Tanari's way, yelling, don't move anything, don't touch anything, if you don't already know all about something, then don't ask about it, to them several times. They kind of figured what was going on and stopped bothering me with stupid questions. It was brutal, but at least I taught them to think independently. Murat, merchant. The environment here is so nice that even I feel like staying and attending classes. Studying is a good thing. In my opinion, it's half and half. If you're good at studying, you don't have to worry about making a living. But if you are too good, I hear there's a risk of going mad. So it's best for an ordinary person like me to just look for a job that suits me. Alright, I've got to introduce myself. I'm a supplier and I mainly provide part of style with basic supplies. You can contact me too if you need any daily necessities. I'll keep that in mind. Good, look forward to hearing from you then. If not for the business, we can still shake hands for becoming friends. Please accept this as a gift from me. I'm sure it will be useful someday. Ja, mehr oder weniger. Ist ganz nett. Dana, student. Days feel like years while I wait for this. What are you waiting for? An outcome that will decide my future. It's my application to remain in school after graduation. Here the competition to join the Khmer has been growing in intensity. People are giving recommendations to Miss Khmer every day. I wonder if I still have a chance. No, I must stay confident. Based on the results of my final paper, I still have quite the advantage. Tell me about your results. It was on Padisara. Do you know what, do you know that there are very few plantations of Padisara due to its harsh requirements for the environment? If it's possible to develop a stabler variety, then it will be able to greatly improve the efficiency of growing Padisara. I propose quite an effective solution in my graduation paper. If I can stay in school and continue my research after graduation, I'm certain that I'll be able to make a bigger breakthrough. Sounds like a plan. Hearing you say this, I feel a bit more relieved. Anyway, I've done the best I could, now it's all up to destiny. By the way, these are the Padisara I cultivated during my research. Smells amazing, right? Please take them as a gift. I just hope all our wishes will come true. Wow, ganz nett. Ah gut, aber hier will wahrscheinlich jeder reden, der hier rumsteht. Auch ein bisschen nervig. Shaheen, mercenary. People are here really... People here are really bad at keeping a conversation going. So lame. Hey there, hello, ja, und so weiter. Oh, hello, I rarely meet anyone here who would start a conversation with me. Great hero, where are you from? What are you doing here? I'm not making this up. People in this garden are so boring. All they ever say to a question is, I don't know, I'm not sure, and stop asking about it. I expected working away from the city to be fun, but accepting work in the city with the Corps of 30 seems much better now. About the Corps of 30. They're the biggest group of eremites in Sumeru, and they mainly focus on work in Sumeru City. Even the color of their clothes isn't the same as ours, they look so much more stylish. I don't know why they're called the Corps of 30, I've seen a far more of them than that. Maybe it's because they are frequently collaborate with the Khmer and that air of seriousness is rubbed off on them. I don't really like them. What's the point of saying all of that? Aren't I working for the Khmer too? Luckily I'm not anywhere near the sages, so I have a little more freedom. Isami. That mercenary shouldn't be a bad person, right? This place is just full of plants, so there's nothing worth taking for him. Which mercenary? Oh, I was talking about Mr. Shaheen, who guards the place. I've never seen such an inquisitive person in the Eremites. I always thought the Eremites were a group of reserved brutes, but I was gravely mistaken. I have nothing against friendly people, but he keeps asking about what's being done here and what's being stored there. It overwhelms me a little. It's mainly because he looks so curious, so he doesn't seem like he's scheming at something, and I can't bother Matra for just a few questions of this. So I have to deal with him as best I can. What's this place? This is Padestai, a research site for the Amurta. You can meet researchers studying topics like plants, shroomkin, and even insects here. They're mostly researchers and students of the Khmer, and some are close collaborators with Padestai. For example, a forest watcher of Gandharvaville used to spend all his time here while he was studying. Even if he has left the Khmer now, he still comes here often to conduct research. His research findings are very precious, so Padestai is willing to assist the forest rangers in their work too. Call it a mutually beneficial cooperation. Okay. Ja, wie gesagt, das ist halt echt einfach nichts Wichtiges hier. Ja, Kemia wieder. Unser Robo-Freund. Don't touch anything, sammelt die Palisara ein. Vergessen, wie das Ding hieß. Was hat der Namen? Warte. Spiegelt das einfach nur die Mitte jetzt gerade? Nee, das ist wirklich Glas. Ich kann nach draußen gucken. Oh mein Gott. Es ist richtiges Glas, wo man durchgucken kann. Ach du Scheiße, sowas gibt es in diesem Spiel. Gut, dann bin ich ja hier auch fertig. Aber ich glaube, bei Nacht kam der doch raus, oder? Also bei Nacht bin ich mir sicher, dass das Ding hier am Rumkriechen war. Ja. Genau. Hi. Karkata, also hieß du genau. Kalu, Kalu. Dann gibt es noch was anderes. Nö, also es ist der gleiche Text, okay. Jo, ja, lass mich in Ruhe. Gut, hier ist kein Tag-Nacht-Unterschied. Gut, gut. So, dann habe ich Padestai fertig. Dann habe ich hier eigentlich alles bis auf Port Ormos. Das mache ich aber dann separat nochmal in einem Video. Hier ist auch nichts mehr. Aro Village hatte ich auch gemacht direkt. Ja, bleibt eigentlich nur Caravan Ribat. Und dann Port Ormos irgendwann nochmal die Tage vielleicht. Und dann habe ich das. Ich meine, ich habe noch immer 2 Stunden gleich Zeit ungefähr. Also ich könnte auch noch jetzt Port Ormos machen. Der Hell ist hinter mir. Habe ich sonst auch irgendwas anderes, was ich aufnehmen könnte? Ja, alles andere, wo ich mich drum kümmern könnte, das kann ich auch machen, wenn ich keine Ruhe habe. Ich könnte, ja, den Mario könnte ich noch eine Stunde streamen. Das ist eine Idee. 17 bis 18:30 ungefähr. Ja, ich glaube, was mache ich. Oder mache ich, jetzt schon den Stream an Mario und nehme Caravan Ribat mit nach Port Ormos. Wäre auch eine Idee, oder? Einfach Port Ormos und Caravan Ribat. Ja, doch. Wäre eine Idee. Ich meine, so viel wird ja nicht hier sein. Ne, gut, dann mache ich jetzt schon Schluss. Mache das hier dann zusammen mit Port Ormos irgendwie die Tage mal irgendwann. Oder halt in 2 Monaten oder so irgendwie. Aber dann habe ich ja nicht mehr viel zum Lesen. Ja gut, die Ingame-Bücher noch und die Hangouts, aber... Ja gut, die ganzen Tiere fangen theoretisch. Könnte ich mal machen. Einfach nur just for the lulz. Und die Bücher in der Wüste noch. Und ich kann auch mal wieder angeln gehen in Inazuma. Da fehlen mir auch noch 2 Seiten. Aber ich glaube, hier habe ich mich auch nie umgeguckt. Das heißt, hier werden doch definitiv noch irgendwo Kisten sein, oder? So im Nachhinein bin ich mir nur eigentlich sicher, dass ich mich hier nie wirklich umgeguckt habe. Hier bin ich einfach nur durchgepest und das war's. Gucken. Joa. Joa. Nö. Ich sehe jetzt gerade nichts Spezielles. Außer Enten. So, Schwäne. Hm. Gut. Gut. Fruits. Ja. Dann, wie gesagt, mache ich hier erstmal Schluss. Sag ciao und bis dann.